I'm gonna tell you a story. So where I'm from, it's a small town, population of maybe 40,000 people. And in this town, everyone is they kind of think alike. They have the same collective consciousness or the same type of mentality. So it's a impoverished environment. So everyone there is thinking, you know, pretty much alike. I can remember one time in particular, I was graduating high school. I met up with a group of friends at the time. So we were all sitting around thinking and just discussing what we was gonna do next. And I can remember like the group coming to a conclusion that we should all get a job at Tyson, the chicken factory, and get matching charges and start a family. Like this was the idea that we should be. This is what they thought we should be doing. You know, when he said that at that moment, I kind of knew like this is not for me. Like I should be doing something much bigger with my life. Like I always felt like that. I kind of felt like I didn't belong, like a big fish in a small pond. But as time passed, everything that I did was easy for me to kind of steer clear of trouble because I knew that I was meant for something greater. So I didn't really want to get into like a lot of the bullshit they was doing. So this kind of helped me because I had this belief that one day I'm gonna get out of here. And a few years later, I ended up moving across country, hundreds and hundreds of miles away from all my family, from Arkansas to Florida. And I wouldn't have been able to do this without the belief that I had in myself that I was gonna one day, grow and progress out of that situation. So it's very easy to say that like the belief that I had kind of propelled me and kept me and helped every decision that I made up to that point. And it's the same belief that you have that it's resulted in what it is that you have in your life and everything that you don't have in your life. And let that breathe for a minute. Like your beliefs about what it is that you can and can't do literally have drawn out your life. Like just kind of think of your beliefs as like a pair of invisible goggles or shades, however you feeling today. Just kind of think of it like that. And everyone has a pair, but no one knows that they're on. So these shades literally dictate how you see the world. Everything that you do is ran through your belief system. And your belief system is tied to your identity. So it only makes sense then that your brain, I don't know, I'm not sure how to draw a brain, but you're just gonna go with this. You know how a brain looks. But it only makes sense then that your brain is gonna do everything it can to reinforce the beliefs that you have. So it's only gonna show you more of that what you believe. So that's why you can't outperform your beliefs. You can't be greater than your beliefs. And the problem is when we try to change, when we try to do anything bigger or outside of ourselves, we always seem to fall back or come back to where we were before. That's because you're trying to outrun your beliefs, but that's not possible. So another way of putting it, just remember your belief is tied to your identity. And if you familiar with the book Atomic Habits, you might be familiar with this concept I'm about to show you. Okay. Not the best drawing, but that's not why I'm here. So, you know, whenever we try to make change, we start from Let's just give an example of going to the gym to get sexy. So we just gonna put get sexy as the goal. That's cool. So what does that look like? That looks like me going to the gym 4 times a week, maybe changing your diet a little bit, but if your identity, your core belief system doesn't match what it is that you're trying to create, you're just gonna end up going back and failing. And as harsh as that might seem, that's what I mean. Like you can't outperform your belief system. So then it only makes sense then that instead of trying to change externally or the world around you, you change from internally first. Just think about it. Your personality is comprised of your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. So your personality creates your personal reality. And if you wanna change your personality, if you wanna change your personal reality, it should start by changing what's going on inside instead of trying to change the world around you. Now, if you're watching this video, that means you're probably like me. You are someone who's open minded, proactive, and kind of thinks forward. You know, that's what it is because that's why I'm putting out and attracting back like-minded individuals. So with that being said, like it's probably at one point in time where you felt like you want to change, you want to do something more. But the problem is everyone or most people usually try to change externally instead of changing internally. And when you're able to change yourself internally, that's when you're actually able to see the changes because you're not changing the world, you're only changing your personal reality, and that creates a change in just the environment around you. Just remember, like the world is actually a reflection of what's going on internally or what's going on with you. Everything in your life, in your environment, is actually only being reflected back to you. So just take a moment to let that breathe. Think of all the ways you tried to change externally first without first addressing what's going on in here. So you might be thinking, okay, how do I change what's going on internally? How do I change my belief system? If all of this ties back to the belief that you have about your life, you have about yourself, how do you actually go about making the changes that you need to see? And when I tell you this, it might come as a surprise because it's so simple. A lot of life, a lot of the toughest things in life usually are simple to solve, but sometimes we kind of just look for a complicated answers. I don't know why. It's just how we are as humans. We like difficult solutions for simple problems, but it doesn't always have to be like that. But what I'm about to tell you is actually the one true way that you can actually change and rewire your belief system to help you, you know, to help yourself become who it is that you want to become so that you can see success. And this is universal for whatever field. But the one thing that you actually do need to become aware of is, and it's not the best drawing, but we getting there, is awareness itself. Awareness is how you're gonna change. So in order to change to become someone new or a newer version of yourself, you have to first become aware of who you are and what's keeping you attached to the reality that you have. Like what's really triggering you. And once you become aware of it, you have to then align your frequency to that of the version of yourself that you want to match. So in the quantum realm, which is all around us, there exists infinite potentials. So there's a potential of a version of you that is abundant or, maybe healthy or just happy and healthy and whole. What you have to do is become aware of it, become aware of this version of yourself, and enter this quantum realm, become aware of it, and send the intention out. Connect with it. Visualize what it would be like. And that's fine, but the second part I'm about to tell you is where most people kind of they stop at, because most people tell you to visualize a future that you want and you know picture what it would be like. That works, but it's only halfway without this next part I'm about to tell you, which is the feelings behind it. The feeling behind it is the secret to attract it back into your life. So if you want something different, you want to align to a different version of yourself, a different reality. What does that feel like? It's probably not attached to fear, anxiety, anger, the things that you probably become so accustomed to that you don't even realize are there anymore. This new version of yourself probably is aligned more with peace, happiness, gratitude, things that are higher vibrations. Like every feeling is it produces a different frequency within you. And if you can align it to a version of yourself that you want to see, that's when you start to become this new version of yourself. That's when you start to see the changes in your reality. It's just about becoming that person, becoming it before you actually experience it. Like every great visualizer or a person with a vision first had to believe that this is true long before they experience it in their reality. First have to believe it to be true, act as if, and then align yourself to it. You know, this is what most people are missing when it comes to actually creating a different reality for themselves. And so it's not enough just to meditate on it. You have to know how to actually meditate. And the way I've been taught through different books and spiritual retreats with Dr. Joe Dispenza and just my own personal experience is you have to know how to meditate in order to enter into the quantum realm, which exists all around us. Once you're able to get there, um, you actually enter into your subconscious mind, and you do this through lowering your brainwave frequency from beta to a lower state like alpha, which is only access to a light sleep. But through meditation, you're able to access this, and then go in and reprogram your brain to see something different, to experience a different version of you. So if you've been stuck at any point in your life, then you probably want to stay tuned for my next video, because I'm gonna go more in depth on how to actually meditate and create different version and align to a different version of yourself. So yeah, but for right now, that's all I got. And thank you for rocking with me. Appreciate you being here. Peace.